Good afternoon, everybody. oiKkaRma here, and I'm bringing you another Starcraft video. This is Starcraft 2 once again, and this time I'm playing in a game. This isn't just me, this isn't just oiKkaRma, this is also with oiToxic and Rick's Way. And I'm going to sort of clarify what happened with last video and some more details, and because from the tiny bit of feedback that I got, it seems that there's a bit of confusion as to what happened. So, I'm not going to start over, I'm sort of just going to recap and sort of expand on what happened. So as you all know, if you haven't watched the last video, I'm going to put an annotation on the screen and probably leave a link in the description, or both. And you can go check out that video because it explains some more basic stuff about the game. But, yeah, so I talked about mineral, I talked about gas, talked about supply. Now, I'm going to try and just recap on all that really quick right now. So, like I said to start off, there are 3 different races, and we're all 3 different races this time. I'm Terran, which are the humans. Right now, oiToxic is Protoss, which are like the super advanced aliens, and Rick's Way is the Zerg, which are like the gross insect alien dudes. And, yeah, they're nasty. So, in this game, it is a 3v3 online. It's all 3 of us versus some 3 random guys. One of them's Terran, and the other one's also Terran. I think they're all 3 Terran, actually. Oh, no, we got 1 Protoss in there as well. And, yeah, so what you're going to see is us sort of own and dominate them. It's, you know, pretty normal business, whatever. We always own and dominate our enemies, except for when we lose, which is also happens a lot. What? Anyways, so yeah, and I talked about sort of the objective of the game. If you're sort of confused still as to the general concept is to take out all 3 of your enemies if you're playing a 3v3, or just take out all of your enemies by either destroying all of their buildings, all of their units, or both. Or maybe you just keep on attacking them until they decide, you know what, I'm just going to surrender because there's no point in me even trying, which happens, you know, quite often. Like, the enemy team will realize, you know what, we don't stand a chance here, let's just surrender. And that's usually a smarter thing to do. I'm just fixing my mic here, I'm sorry if it's, like, annoying or whatnot. Yeah, so that's usually a smarter thing to do. People just say, you know what, we don't stand a chance, we're going to lose, let's just end it right now. So, what you're going to see in this game is oiToxic. I believe he's trying to do a 4-gate, which, you know, I'm not going to get too advanced, because that's just not going to work. So, yeah, basics. Maybe you didn't understand the mineral, whole gas, and supply concept. I'm going to try and clarify that for you. This is a worker, alright? He's called an SCV for my race. Like I said, we have Terran, Protoss, Zerg. I'm Terran. He's called an SCV for my race, but we're going to call him a worker. oiToxic has workers too. They're pretty cool. They are his workers, and Rick's Way has workers as well. Okay, so I'm just trying to really, you know, explain this as best as I can, because I'm not sure if you guys even understood anything I said in the last video. So, these workers do, you know, I think 3 main things, 3 major things. The one thing they do is they will harvest minerals. If you tell them to harvest a mineral, right now I can't because this is a replay. By the way, this game has theater mode. In case you didn't know, this isn't live. This is theater mode. Yeah, so this guy, I told him before to harvest these minerals, and now he's harvesting them. He's going to pick them up or bring them to this command center. And over here, it's not called a command center, it's called a nexus, and down here, it's called a hatchery. Doesn't matter what you call it, it's the main hub of your, I don't know, civilization, of your army, I guess. So he's going to harvest the minerals and bring them back to my main hub. Now, these guys are harvesting gas from my refinery. And again, you know, they're not always called refineries. Sometimes they're called an assimilator. Sometimes they're called, I believe, an extractor. Yeah, an extractor. So, whatever, doesn't matter. The whole point is that the worker will take gas from this place and bring it to the main hub. Whenever you take minerals or gas and bring it to the main hub, these numbers are going to go up a little bit. So these go up by 5 every time, because these guys can only carry 5 little blue rocks at a time. And these guys can only carry, I think it goes up by 4, for, you know, gas and those little green capsules you see in their hands that they're bringing back and forth. And that's what's going to make these numbers go up. This number up here in the top right, 24 out of 27, is my supply. In other words, it's my population. I have supply depots for it. Not only that, you know, for the Protoss, it's pylons, which I'm not going to get into detail. Pylons give supply, and they power their buildings. So, oh, and he is doing a 4-gate too, but that's not really important. You don't need to know that. You just need to know that the things that allow for population are also the things that allow for supply. Supply, you know, and population are kind of synonymous in this case. Alright, you know how to get minerals, you know how to get gas, you know how to get supply. I covered all this in the last video. Again, I just want to mention that in case you're kind of confused as to, you know, maybe think you already saw this again. I'm trying to clarify, by the way. Okay. So yeah, these guys harvest minerals, they harvest gas, they build these types of structures that help with your population. What next? These workers of any race, doesn't matter, they will build buildings, and certain buildings make certain units. So for example, this barracks right here can make Marines, and only Marines. If I were to put a tech lab on it, which is just a fancy sort of name for, I don't know, another structure that's attached to the side, and it'll allow for more research, more science, and you can make different kinds of units. But for right now, I'm just making Marines. These guys are going to be my military for now. These are my main fighting units. Alright, so what have I covered? I've covered how to get minerals, how to get gas, how to get population, what they all do. Yeah, so the three main things a worker does is get all these three things, pardon me, and they also make structures. And yeah, and there are different kinds of structures right here. This is a barracks, which is going to make me normal troops. This is a factory, which is going to make me, things like tanks, Hellions, Thors. They're just all fancy sort of things. It's like an ATV. This is like a tank. And yeah, so now we're all moving out. This is the important part. This is, what I explained to you right there, everything I just explained is called macro. Macro is building and harvesting and, creating and researching. That's macro. Micro is this stuff right here. Micro is what you call moving units, deploying units, putting units into battle, actually, doing strategic movements while in battle. This is called micro. And it's kind of easy to remember because macro means, things that are big, right? Big structures, big concept. Micro is smaller because you're doing, much less consuming things. Now, I'm sorry, there's a lot of lag here just because I have it on everyone. I could put it to mine. Just me, I'm number 3, okay. It's still going to lag a little bit, though. I don't quite know why it's lagging as much as it is. It shouldn't be lagging this much at all. But it's not really important. So what we're doing right now, if you look at the minimap if you want, you can look to the minimap from time to time. It looks pretty cool. You get to see all the units go in. And what we're doing right now is we're just sort of meeting. We're sort of gathering up before the attack, but it seems like now it's time to attack because they're coming out to meet us. So oiKtoxic is leading the rush. We're going to have Rick Sway go around the back, go up the other ramp, and I'm going to go help oiKtoxic because there are a bunch of units here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to try and siege up on this guy. We're just going to try and break this Protoss player, because the other two players that are over here are Terran. The other two Terran players can sort of outnumber us, right? Because they can combine their units, because their units are all human. If, two people have the same army, it'd just be one giant army. It'll just be horrifying. So we're just going to take out this Protoss guy, the weaker one, take out the weakest link. That way we can get into the other guy's bases later. So as you see, these guys are sort of panicking, right? This guy isn't doing anything up here. He does not have enough of an army. The guy down here sort of is getting invaded by Rick's Way. Phoenix can't do anything to these roaches. These roaches are kind of actually targeting the wrong thing right here. Rick's Way just letting them die, but there you go. He picked it up. And so yeah, so Phoenix not doing too well. Phoenix is probably not going to win. Colonist has a chance because we just haven't even been touching it, but he has a very, very tiny army. Whereas Dav Terran, this guy down here, I don't think he stands a chance at this point. I mean, I have a couple of troops in there still. I'm not really posing much of a threat, but oiKtoxic is, sending a steady stream of troops into that base. And, we're just going to dominate. I'm just trying to target these pylons because, like I said before, pylons provide supply. Not only that, pylons power buildings. If you are this race of Protoss. So, if I take out this pylon, these buildings will lose power, making them useless at that point. So right now these things make units, and they are dysfunctional, right? They will not work anymore. So all these workers are running away because they know that if they stay, they're going to die because they're trapped up on this hill. But oiKtoxic and I, come on, we don't show any mercy. We're going to kill these guys. We never show any mercy. But here are the reinforcements coming in. So yeah, so what you just saw there, Phoenix has left the game. What you just saw there was a demonstration of micro. Well, actually, macro and micro. I'm still macroing up here at the same time as I'm microing down here. So, that's the whole point of this game, is sort of trying to balance the two. And it gets really fun and really hectic. And actually, we didn't kill this guy. We let him go rebuild. I remember that now, yeah. So here's oiKtoxic, not showing any mercy. These last few workers, he's just going to kill them off and beat them with diamonds. I don't know what that is, actually. Let's go. What is that? Some sort of sword. But, yeah, so that's macro and micro, Macro is what we've been doing up here in our bases. I've been just sort of making more troops because I really have a sort of stable economy at this point. Actually, that's not my economy. That's oiKtoxic, so that's my economy. I have a lot of gas, actually, but oh well. And yeah, so I'm pretty good macroing up there. oiKtoxic is set. He has a really good thing going for him. Rick's Way has already made an expansion down here, so he's pretty good. And we, attacked Phoenix over here. Phoenix isn't playing anymore, so now it's a 3v2. So we're, it's a 3v2. The one guy already expanded over here. He had to run in order to live. So he's probably going to die soon anyways, and now it's all down to pretty much Colonists, who only has a few Marines and a couple of medivacs. What these bad boys do up here, these flying guys, they will, what's it say? Heal. Sorry, I was gonna say revive. They heal units as they fly over them, so it's actually a pretty good advantage for these guys. And they also have stim pack. Stim pack will inflict damage on your units, but they'll make them stronger and faster at the same time. So it's kind of a trade-off. You take damage, but you get healed, and you get to do more damage at the same time. So it's a pretty good combo he has going here. However, look what we got down here. We have a huge mass of troops. I got siege tanks, which is definitely going to break those buildings right down. oiToxic has a ton of stalkers and zealots, and he actually has way more sentries than he actually needs at this point. And we're going to walk right up to this guy's front door soon. Actually, I got kind of scared there because we kind of split up. I'm like, wait for me. But here we go. We're going to move in. And this is sort of, from my perspective, how I'm microwing this guy. And this is actually a pretty sweet battle, because I decided to run away just to scare oiToxic there. He's like, oh, where are you going? But anyways, yeah, so he has a bunker up there, which is sort of, designed to stop us, although, as you see, it did not work at all. And these Marines, he's not really microing them very well at all. They're just kind of dancing around, scattering. They're not really going to do much damage. I mismicroed down here because I told them to do the wrong thing. I was supposed to tell them to go up the hill, and I told them to go to the base of the hill for some reason. Oh well. But yeah, so now my Marines are going to go up. They're going to sort of just assist oiToxic in this because he's sort of leading the rush here. Now, oiToxic suffered some heavy casualties, obviously. He has some, only a few stalkers left, and that's it at this point. But I think he's going to start warping in some more units over here, sort of teleporting them in. Yeah, there you go. You can see them teleport in there. That's pretty sweet how that happens. And that's sort of the advantage of a 4-gate is what it's called. 4 warp gates. And 4 warp gates will just teleport from guys from here all the way over here. And it's very, very useful to get people over there quickly. So, obviously, back down here, we weren't able to get in just because he had too many buildings. He didn't really have a lot of troops, but he was still pumping out troops as we were attacking. And these medivacs were probably the thing that sealed the deal for him, because he was able to fight us off, use his buildings that used to be here. And these medivacs would just keep on reviving his troops. What I should have done, I should have targeted these medivacs, but I didn't. And at the same time, because it'd be perfect because his factory is useless for that entire fight. That factory wasn't doing anything. So if I had targeted those medivacs, we may have just won there, but it doesn't really matter. I got tons more troops coming in here. 3 siege tanks in there. That's deadly. And yeah, I'm just going to speed up the video a little bit here, because there's a pretty decent battle coming up. I'm going to fix my mic again just in case it's not working at all. Alright, so here we go. We're going to move in again. And, yeah, so this is sort of, standard play whenever you're doing a 3v3, because 3v3 you have, obviously you have 2 teammates, but the other guy also has 2 teammates. So what you want to do is you always want to find the weakest link. By attacking the Protoss player, he was the weaker link because the other 2 guys were the same race. So by attacking the, the Outlier, we were able to find that weaker link and bring him down. And now it's a 3v2 this whole game. And see right here, oiToxic, Rixway, and oiKkaRma, this guy doesn't really stand a chance. I've sort of recalibrated. I'm starting to target those medivacs more. But at this point, we don't even need to worry about the medivacs just because he has no more units. Like, he only has 5 or 6 there. We can easily just walk in there and take him out.